Welcome back. On previous episodes, we've talked about getting to know someone, but does that mean that they're actually worthy of your trust? We're going to talk about that today.
Proclaim the glory of the Lord.
To define trust, it basically means the belief, firm belief, or confidence in somebody's honesty, integrity, reliability, or justice, which is really just a formal definition of saying, are they honest? Are they honorable? Are they fair? Can you rely on them? Are they responsible? If they can meet these types of qualities, then they are someone that you can place your trust in. And trust is essential to any relationship because it really encompasses every aspect of that relationship, and it is the very core of intimacy. If without it, you really can't have that intimacy. You really can't be vulnerable, because in order to trust someone, you're trusting them with your heart, with your soul, with part of yourself. And if they aren't meeting a certain quality or character, then that makes things really difficult. I like to think about this in respect to God. You think about God, you see Him through the scriptures, which is basically a history of everything that God has done from the beginning to current day and even into the future. And you can see that He is consistent, that when He says something, He will always follow through. His word never returns unto Him void, and so you can put your trust on Him. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He is all of those characters. He is honest. He is reliable. He is justice. Now, can you have that same view, and can you apply it to the person that maybe you're dating right now, or you're thinking about dating, or maybe you're already married, or maybe it's just a friendship? Do they meet those type of qualities that makes them trustworthy? Because it's really important that when you place your trust or misplace your trust, you really don't see things like you should. You kind of lose your objectivity. And don't compromise your emotional health and your mental judgment just so you can have the security of a relationship. So if we're thinking about that gauge, that RAM, that relationship attachment model, we have know and we have trust. You should know someone before you trust them. But sometimes in a relationship, we do it the other way, where we really don't know them at all and we trust them a whole ton. And I have been really guilty of that. And you can see that not just in dating relationships in other people, but even just friendships or what have you. You're not really getting to know somebody yet, but be willing to place a lot of trust on them that might not be warranted. And then the other side is kind of the other extreme, where I know them really well, but I refuse to trust them at all. And that can also be damaging. It can be hurtful. I've been in friendships and relationships that because someone else has hurt this person in the past, they are not trusting me. But I'm not that person. And so basically it puts up this barrier or this wall that keeps us separate, keeps us from being able to be vulnerable with each other. So there are a number of qualities to kind of look for in somebody to see, okay, this is someone I know I can put my trust in. And the acronym is actually marriage. So there's 8 things, but I'm not really expecting you to remember these. But perhaps you can pick out a few of those that are like really important to you. Maybe they stand out of something that you are seeking for in somebody else. But I want you to also consider that these aren't just qualities for somebody else. These are qualities for you. Do you have these qualities in yourself? Are you trustworthy? Not just can you trust the other person? So the first one is M, or mature. And this basically means, can they delay gratification, and are they willing to meet someone else's needs? Can they see things from their point of view? And to me, of all the ones we're going to go over, I would probably rate this one like number 1, because as you can see today in our society, what happens when people are not mature, when they cannot delay gratification, they turn so inward, they become so selfish that it's someone that is kind of difficult to trust. And when you are talking about love in marriage, you're really putting a lot of trust in another person that they won't hurt you. that they won't take advantage of the love that you are giving them, but that they will reciprocate that in kind? Are they mature enough to handle that kind of relationship? The next one is adaptable, meaning are they flexible? Do things have to be their way? Or can they bend and listen to what you have to say? Maybe you have a different opinion or different view on something, and neither one is necessarily right or wrong, but sometimes we just get in the way of doing things all the time a certain way. The next two are the R's, that's responsible and relational. So responsible, obviously that one's kind of more self-explanatory, but do they follow through on the things that they say? If they are going to commit to something, do they actually do it? Are they someone who can show up when you need them to in any type of situation and moment because they are responsible enough to know to put themselves second and put you first? And hopefully, again, you have that quality in yourself as well. And then as far as the relational part goes, are they able to share their feelings, their desires, their needs, and also to receive yours without punishment, without judgment? Insightful is the ability to see something from someone else's point of view, and I know we've kind of talked about that in other videos, especially in this series about relationships, but that is really important because it's really easy to see the worst in people because you're only taking it from your point of view and you're not considering maybe what are their emotions, what has brought them to this moment, to this point, why are they thinking that way, why are they making those decisions. It's so easy for me to consider that my way is always right. You know, if you think about it like this, for hundreds of years, people on the earth believed that the earth was the center of the solar system and that the sun actually revolved around us. And, you know, it's kind of easy to see that because of gravity. It doesn't feel like we're moving. It feels, or it seems like the sun is the one that's moving around us. It took centuries for individuals to realize that no, it's actually the sun that's at the center, that it's not moving, but that we are moving around it. And I kind of liken that to us in our everyday life. Sometimes we think we are the center of the solar system when actually we're not. God is the center of the solar system. And so maybe I should try to see things from His viewpoint, from His advantage, instead of just mine. The A is assertive, and usually, you know, I think of that sometimes as being something negative, but in this case it's not. It's just meaning that you are able to express your desires, your thoughts in appropriate ways. And in that case, I kind of wish I was a little bit more assertive at times, because that is actually a very admirable quality, because then you know what's going on in that person. They're willing to assert themselves, and you don't always have to do everything, and that's someone that's worthy of your trust. The G is giving. Do they take joy in serving other people? Of giving of themselves, giving of other things, giving of their time. Is that something that they enjoy? If they do, that's a pretty good quality to have. And the last one is emotionally stable, which again is another essential one. I'm sure you can relate to being around somebody who within a few hours or so, their mood just shifts for no reason. You know, someone like that is, I'm not saying it's a definite no, but it's something you'd have to be aware of and to be careful, because that could be very extreme. It's hard to put your trust on someone who is not stable, who is not constant. And you think about, again, with God, He is always the same for the most part. You know, sometimes He's that jealous God, sometimes He's that angry God, but He is always love. And we kind of need that also when it comes to emotional stability. That would make someone very worthy of your trust. So those are just some qualities that hopefully you can look for, that you can see in someone you're thinking about dating, maybe someone you already are dating, or perhaps you are married to. I hope that some of these have been thoughtful for you, thought-provoking, and that now you have a little bit greater knowledge on what to look for when trying to trust someone. So until next time, this is Andrew King, your fellow brother and companion in this journey we call life.
Proclaim the glory of the Lord.